Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Caroline Green. I am a professional artist, art teacher, and muralist from Portland, Oregon. And today I'm going to be your painting instructor. We're going to be making a very beautiful little painting here of a wine glass using some very easy to follow steps. Anybody at home can do this. I'm going to be using very basic supplies that you can get pretty much anywhere. But before we get started, let's go ahead and go over all the supplies and a few things first. So we have our canvas. The one I'm using today is an 11 by 14, so it's not very big. And I have it facing up and down, so portrait format, okay, long way up and down. Then I have my little paint palette here, and I have a handy little extra plate on the side. This is just in case I run out of space on this little palette here. Sometimes I'm messy and sometimes I'm not, but today I have a feeling I might be a little bit messy in this one because we're using a whole bunch of colors. So if you have a little plate, that's great. I have two brushes. I have a 1/2 inch flat and a little round detailing brush. I also have a cup of water here to clean my brushes and thin my paints out, some paper towels, and then of course these beautiful paints here. We won't be using all these paints here today. We're going to keep it very simple so that anybody at home can do this even if you don't have all these paints. Now, all of these items are available on my website. It's part of the Oops, I Arted Paint Studio kit. So let's go ahead and get our paints out. So I'm going to be using black, white, and the 3 primaries as always because that's the easiest way to go about any painting. Keep it nice and simple. So black, white, I'm going to be also taking out a brighter yellow. This is lemon yellow. Crimson red, it's a nice strong bright red. And then I think I'll be using the cobalt blue today. It also came with an ultramarine blue. If you want to use that, that's also fine. And like I said, we're not going to need these other colors. If you have them, then great, you can go ahead and use them because we're going to be making some similar colors in here. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of paint in our palette. It doesn't really matter where they go around your palette. Just make sure to leave a space in between your colors so that you have a spot for mixing. So I like to put yellow down followed by red, so I have a spot for orange, and then maybe followed by white, so I have a spot for pink, and then maybe blue so I can make light blue, and so on. But it doesn't matter too much. We're going to take our little paints here and we're going to squeeze out about 1/4's worth to fill up the circle. Do not squeeze out the whole tube. You want to reserve some in case you run out. So let's go ahead and get that started. There we go. So I have my 5 colors. I've got my 3 primaries here: red, yellow, blue, black, and white. So the first thing that we do with any painting is we always work from the back forward. So we're going to put the background in first, which includes maybe the wall area, and then we're going to do the table followed by the glass. Now this painting is going to be very loose, okay? A way to make a painting look good is keep it loose, use bright colors, and use those colors throughout the painting, all right? So don't go into this wanting to make the perfect painting because the perfect painting doesn't exist. And also that's just going to stress you out because then you're going to be disappointed when you don't make the perfect painting. Okay, so you want to stay nice and relaxed and have fun doing this because if you have fun, it's going to show that you had fun, which means it's going to turn out good. Now, since we are mixing a whole bunch of fun colors in here and blending them around, we're going to put a thin layer of water on our canvas. That's the very first step. So get your 1/2 inch flat brush out. Dip it in the water and just very lightly take a moment and just sort of blend this water all over your canvas. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it a little bit moist so that the colors blend easier and spread easier, okay? Because we're going to use too much paint if we don't do this. And we don't want to run out of our paints. So this really helps to make our paints last. If you at any point are having a problem, maybe you're running out of a color, just go ahead and thin down your color a little bit. Okay, simple, easy trick to do to make your paints last. So now that my canvas is really nice and wet, we're going to go ahead and start brushing in our colors. I'm going to start with maybe some yellow, some warms on the left side and some cooler colors on the right side. So yellows, a little bit of orange, some pinks, and then over here we'll go into the blues, maybe a little purple down here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to start layering my colors. Again, keep it loose and have fun. So I want to make a light yellow. I'm going to take a big scoop of white and a big scoop of yellow, so about 50-50. I'm going to mix that up. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start streaking this in wherever I feel like there should be some nice yellow, okay? And I'm going to be kind of loose about it, loose and messy. Loose and messy. Now, I'm going to have my table be about 4 inches from the bottom or so, so you really don't have to go past that line there. So if you want to go ahead and just drop a line in for right now, maybe I'll put a little higher. You can do that just so you know where to stop putting these strokes of color down. Now we're going to layer in our colors, so don't be controlling, have fun, okay? So I am just having a lot of fun here brushing these colors in. Just getting some color down on the canvas, okay? Look at how messy and loose that is. Okay, now I think I'm gonna add a drop of red to it. Drop of red, okay? And go ahead and just sort of streak that in wherever you'd like. I'm going pretty quick, not a lot of pressure, and I'm just doing little crisscross motions. Little crisscross motions. Just getting some color on the canvas, okay? We're gonna layer this in. Don't worry about it being perfect. Now let's make it a little bit more orangey. Okay, so I'm gonna take a big scoop of red and move it next to my yellow and take a big scoop of yellow. See, I'm already making a mess. And you know what? That's okay. That's totally fine if you make a mess. Let's go ahead and streak this in. Ooh, that's a dark. That's almost a red still. That's okay. I'm going to put it down here and just streak it in like this. Okay, that's a lot of red. I want to add some more yellows and oranges in there. So I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to wipe it off first and get it clean. I'm going to push it all the way down to the bottom of my cup so that the bristles touch, and I'm going to scrub my bristles back and forth on the bottom of the cup. And when I bring it out, I'm going to wipe it off, and it's nice and clean. So again, I want mine to be more orange, right? So I need to add more yellow to this mixture, or just take a scoop of it. If you did the same thing I did, take a scoop of that orange that you were trying to make and add more yellow. More yellow. There we go. That's much, much better. Let's play around with this color. Let's streak this in a little. See how I'm showing my brush strokes? I don't want to hide my brush strokes. I want to see them, right? I want to see where my hand went, okay? Just like that. I'm going to clean off my brush now. I'm going to wipe it off with the paper towel because I don't want that color on there anymore because it has too much red. I want to go back into that light yellow color and start layering that in some more. I think I'll add another scoop of white to it. Make it really soft now. Really soft. Your painting doesn't have to look like mine, okay? We're having fun here. We are having fun. Put your color wherever you want. Just swipe it in. Let them blend. See, look at that. Let them mix. Let them have fun. We're just building up our colors. So I've got the left side pretty warm. I think I want to work on the right side now. I want to make some blue colors. So I'm going to take my blue, some white, maybe a little bit of black. I'm just going to start playing around making some blue colors. So I'm going to take a big scoop of blue and let's do a big scoop of white. That's pretty nice, but you know what? I think I want to add a drop of yellow to mine. Just a drop. I don't want it green, but I just want to warm up the blue color a little bit. All right, just a little bit, and see how it kind of warms it up? That's nice. And let's go ahead and just swipe some of this in on the right side, okay? And it's okay if they blend and they make a green in the middle. That's totally fine. We're having fun here. Just play with your colors. Keeping my wrist loose and just doing crisscross motions. Let's add a little bit more yellow to it now. Why not? Let's have some fun. And let's add a little bit more white to it too. Let's soften it up. And just streak it wherever you want. Okay, now I'm gonna get my brush nice and clean because I want to go darker. And if we leave the white on there, too much white, it'll look gray. Okay, because I'm gonna add a drop of black into my blue. Just a little bit. I'm gonna start deepening my color. So clean off your brush. Let's take a scoop of blue and let's find a new spot on the palette. Do a big scoop of blue. Now black is the strongest color, okay? So what I want you to do is take an itty bitty drop at a time, about a grain of rice. And that might even be too much, we'll see. And just mix it around for a moment. And do you see the difference there? You see the difference in color? It's quite dark. Okay, let's swipe a little of this in. Loosey-goosey swipes. Just like that. Now I'm going to make it darker. You can always add more. You can always adjust. Okay, a little at a time. Look at that. We're getting pretty dark now. Pretty dark. I think I'll go one more drop of black. I'm going to make it really dark now. Almost black. Almost. And I'm going to put a little bit of darkness right here. Just like that. And I like that. Okay, clean off your brush because I want to go back in a little bit and do some different blues up there in the right hand corner. I don't think I want that black on there anymore. I think I want to go back sort of into this color. Maybe add a touch more yellow. Big scoop blue. Big scoop blue. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to add a tiny scoop of this dark blue in it. And then a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow. Mix that up and see what I get. A little bit more yellow. Again, I'm just playing around with colors and having fun, okay? I want you to have fun. If you don't want to do these colors, that's fine. Do a different color. We're keeping it loose. We're having fun today. I'm just swiping it back and forth using those crisscross motions. Just like that. Okay, let's take a look at our painting. What do you think? How do you feel? You feel like it's a mess? That's okay. It's the background, so it doesn't matter too much, okay? Because the star of the painting here is going to be that wine glass. It's going to be the wine glass, so don't worry too much about what's going on in the background. You want it to be fun and you want it to have some movement, so you want to see your brush strokes and see your colors. That's great, because we're going to continue that style throughout the rest of the painting. But now's the time to fix anything if you don't like it. Maybe I want to add a little bit of mint in here. Why not? Mint's fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some blue, a little bit of white, and a little bit of yellow and make sort of a blue color that's verging on mint. As you can see, my palette's a mess. I knew this was going to happen today. That's okay. Okay, now let's sort of make a minty blue color here. So I think what I'm going to start out with is white. Take a big scoop white. Let's make a fun minty color today. And a little bit of blue. Make a light blue. Now I want you to add a little bit of yellow in here. See, it's still kind of on the bluer side, but now it looks a little bit mintier. Let's go ahead and swipe this in a little bit. See, there's a slight difference there. I like that. I like that. Just going to kind of swipe in wherever I feel like it needs a little bit of lightness. We can always go back in and layer in more colors. Okay, now I want to go ahead and layer in a little bit more neutrals over here, soft yellow colors, just a little bit more. So see, it's a process. We're just having fun layering in our colors. So I'm going to take that light color again. Let's add more white to it though. More white to that light yellow color. Big scoop of white. Really make it light. I'm going to add a drop of that orangey into it. Drop of that light orange. sort of blend it around. Don't be afraid to let them mix. See how I'm letting my brush sort of blend together some of the colors? Something like that. Okay, let's work on our table. Let's do the same thing, but we're going to be doing some different colors. That way it doesn't look the exact same. So I think I want to try to play around with some purples and pinks. Maybe a little bit of orange in there. I already have a little bit of orange made, so I'm going to play around with that. I'm going to swipe that in sort of on the left side here. Just going to take a big scoop and have fun. Left corner and swipe it in. Just a little here. And then I'm going to start making some pinks. I love pink. Love pink. Pink is white and red. White and red. Just start playing around with your colors. My brush is still dirty. It still has a little bit of that orange in there. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to swipe this in. That's nice. I like that color. What do you think? It's subtle. I might need to change it up a little so that we get more variation in here. How about we make purple? Let's make some purple. Again, this is just an abstract background. Just have fun with your colors, okay? Let's make purple. Purple is red and blue, but you have to add white because if you don't add the white, it doesn't look purple. I'm going to take a big scoop of red, and then I'm going to take half a scoop of blue. I'm going to gradually add in blue to that red until I like it. Now mix it thoroughly. Ooh, that's a dark purple, and I like that purple a lot. Let's see what happens when we add the white. Little scoop of white. There we go. That's nice. One more scoop of white. Oh, there. That's a good purple. And I'm going to streak this in horizontally just a little bit so that we can definitely find where our table starts. So I'm just taking my little brush and holding the thin side now against the canvas, going horizontally, and streak it across to find your tabletop. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to brush it down a little. Now you can start rotating your brush again, doing crisscross motions. Maybe I'll make it even lighter. Another scoop of white, because I don't want too much of the same color. I don't want that. Let's add a little bit more red to it too. Let's make it lighter. Let's change it. I'm going to swipe this in a little here, horizontal strokes, here, something like this. Now I'm going to add more red now. Got to change it again. Don't want too much of the same color. More red, more white. Ooh, I like that color. That's fun. See, I'm just playing around with colors. Just playing around with colors here, okay? Have fun. Experiment. This is your chance to experiment. Get to know yourself. What colors do you want? What colors speak to you? Okay? Just like that. That's fun. Let's go ahead and clean our brush. I'm going to wipe off all that leftover paint and then clean it. Put it in the cup of water and scrub the bristles. And then I'm going to layer in, I think, a little bit more orange. And then maybe if I can get a brighter pink down here, that would be nice. Maybe a really light blue. Okay, let's do that. So let's, oh, there you go. Here's that light blue. That's nice. Let's take a little bit of this. If you have leftover color that's already mixed, just use it. Just use it up. And let's go ahead and swipe it kind of wherever we feel like there should be a little bit of lightness. I'm going to make it really pale now. Really pale. Keeping my hand very loose. See how it looks almost like an oil painting? Almost. It's because I'm loose. I'm being very loose about it. Very loose and intentional. Think about where you want these colors. Think about how you want them to blend together. Okay, wipe off the paintbrush. Let's try to make that pink color. So if you want a brighter pink, use more red and less white. So I'm going to take a big scoop of red and a little bit of white. Mix that together. See what we get here. That's nice. Let's use some of this. Ooh, I like this. Let's put a little down here. Ooh, look at that little right here. That's nice. Oh, I like it so much. Let's brighten this area up just a little bit. Let's, couple streaks, right? See where you can incorporate it into the rest of the painting if you really like it. There we go. That's fun. Okay, I want to streak in a little bit more orange because that's kind of translucent over there. So it's not, it doesn't have great coverage. So I'm going to take my orangey color right here. I need more yellow because that color was a little bit too red. And swipe that in a little bit. There we go. Make it a little brighter. Just kind of wherever you want your colors. Just let your hand do the work. Don't let your brain do the work yet. Our brain's going to do the work in a minute. Okay. There we go. That's our background to our painting. What do you think? Kind of a mess, right? But fun. I had fun, so I think it looks good. And that's all that matters. You guys ready for the hard part? Let's do the hard part, but I'll make it easy for you. Let's do the wine glass. What we're going to do first is we're going to clean off this brush because we're done with it for right now. Then we're going to take the little brush. Again, all these items came in your kit if you bought the Oops, I Arted Paint kit. So you take out the little brush. Massage those tips if this is your first time using it because the tips are going to be very, very hard. They're coated in like a glue to keep their form. So go ahead and massage your tips. Okay? And make sure you keep that point to your brush. Okay? We're going to make a dark gray color. That's going to be our sketching color. So I'm going to take white and black. Okay, there's a little bit of blue in there. That's okay. That's okay. It's just a sketch color. We're not really going to see it too much. Get some water in there. Thin it out. Twirl your brush. See what I'm doing? I'm twirling my brush. So that way I know I have my nice fine point. And we're going to be painting with that fine point. Okay, so let's talk about placement. The star of this painting is going to be that wine glass. Okay, so it's going to take up most of the painting. So I want you to take a second and think about placement. I'm going to have the wine glass start maybe 1.5 inches from the top. And I want it to go almost maybe 1.5 inches from the bottom. Okay, it's the star. It's going to take up a huge portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a little spot sort of in the middle. So find the middle, the center, coming in from the sides, and then go down a couple inches. I'm going to put the tiniest dot. Tiniest dot. You can't even see that probably. It's just placement. Do the same thing down here. Okay, try to line it up if you can. And then put a little dot, just so you know how big your wine glass is going to go. And if you want, you can actually use this brush for measuring, okay? So if we were to take the tip and put it right there and line it up with the side, now pinch, okay? Now bring this up. Bring this up to see if you're center. I'm pretty close, so those line up pretty well. Now let's go ahead and find out where the top part of the glass is and where the stem begins. I'm going to find the center of my canvas. So from the sides and down, okay? I'm going to find the center. And then I'm going to go down about 1 inch. And that's going to kind of be where the stem starts. I'm going to put a dot. Try to line it up with the other dots. Okay? Placement. That's all we're doing. Now let's go ahead and find the width. Okay, where's the widest part of the glass? It should be about 2 inches from this middle dot. Okay, so just sort of eyeball it. Let's say 2 inches, right there. So how wide does your glass want to be? Mine's going to be about 4 inches. So I need to find my spots and put a little dot on each side. Okay, I'll say right here, and maybe right here. Something like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect because the whole painting's a little loose, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. But I can see this dot is higher than this one, so I'm gonna lift that up a little. I think that's better. Okay, now, again, your brush should have that tiny fine point on it. If it doesn't, go ahead and spin it again. Okay, so you have a fine point. And we're gonna be painting with this fine point. And we're also not gonna be using hardly any pressure. That's how you sketch, and that's how you get fine lines. So you're going to hold your brush with its itty bitty point and you're going to apply almost no pressure. Okay, the more pressure that you use, the fatter the lines. And we don't want that, right? We don't want giant black lines on here or gray lines. And we're going to gently sketch the shape in. Okay, very gently, very loosely. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So I think the lip here is going to be definitely smaller than this part. Okay, it's going to come up a little. I'll say it's maybe 2 inches. So if this is the middle, I can go out about 1 inch on each side. And I'm not going to draw a straight line. I'm going to curve it. Okay, I'm going to curve it downward just a little. So dot, dot, very gentle, very gentle. Just like that. Okay, that's the top. That's the lip in the back. Now let's curve that around, very gentle. Just like that. Okay. Now we can always straighten it out later, right? We're going to be swiping in colors. It's okay. Now I'm going to bring this line down so that it meets this line here and kind of curves around as it does it. So very gentle, not a lot of pressure, like that. Very gentle, not a lot of pressure, and curve. And curve it down. And this is where the stem starts, right? Something like that. Now again, we're sketching. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can go back in and change the shape, right? So maybe you want to soften the shape up later. We can do that. We're just trying to find the placement. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this line straight down, not quite to the bottom. Okay, leave a couple inches because it's going to bell out again, right? This is the foot. Very gentle, not a lot of pressure here. Okay, this is the foot, remember that. So we're going to curve a line around like a soft smile. Do a soft smile shape like that. We're going to curve this down a little. Okay, curve this down like that, and this is going to wrap around. It's sort of like an oval. Okay, now your glass is probably wonky like mine, and that's okay, because it's a sketch. Okay, now we can start going back in and we can start correcting our lines a little bit if you'd like. So I'm going to take that same color, same gray color, and I'm going to adjust some things, right? So I can soften this line up, curve it more like that. Okay, now we can swipe in the background colors again to hide some of those mistakes. That's what we're going to do next. But first I want you to try to find your shape a little bit more. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of wine in there too while we're at it. Let's just sketch it in. Okay, so try to recreate the shape up here, right? So curve it down like that and then curve around. Just like that. Okay, and then of course the wine sort of stops here. All right, let's go back to that 1/2 inch brush. Okay, and we're going to start swiping in colors now. We can swipe in some of the background, and then we can start swiping in the wine and swiping in the shadows of the glass and stuff. So I want you to clean up your shape first. That's kind of important. So go ahead and take your colors that we used for the background or similar colors. They don't have to be the same. What you can do is start swiping those in to correct your shape. And just clean it up. Be kind of loose about it, okay? Just like you were before. Now sometimes acrylics are pretty translucent, so you may have to layer in your colors to cover them up, like right here. Let it dry though. let it dry. Brush that out a little. Let's start with the wine. What color is your wine? Are you having a rosé? Are you having a Chardonnay, a Riesling, a red, Merlot? Make your color based on your wine. Mine's gonna be, let's do a red wine. Why not? Red wine's nice. Let's take a big scoop of red. I'm gonna take a big scoop of this orangey color and sort of mix that around together. I'm gonna use this plate because, you know, I'm running out of room and I'm being messy. That's okay. I've loaded up my 1/2-inch brush and we're just gonna start swiping this in the glass. I'm not gonna fill in the whole thing either. We're gonna use a similar technique as we did with the background. Okay, so I want you to start swiping in just a little, the brighter color in the middle, because we're gonna have highlights and shadows in there. And then maybe it wraps around, something like this. Something like that. Maybe a little down here, a little right here. Okay, I didn't fill it in. You see that? We're not filling it in. This isn't a coloring book. We're not going to sit there and color things in. Okay, we're swiping in colors. It looks prettier that way. Now I'm going to take this darker orangey color and swipe some of this in. Something like that. Not too much, okay? Now let's take a lighter color. Let's take that nice light yellow color and swipe a little bit of this in. I'm going to say the light's sort of reflecting on the right-hand side a bit. So the light's coming up here, maybe it's hitting and it's bouncing around the glass. It's bouncing around, something like this. Okay, a little over here. Just like that, couple swipes. You saw a couple swipes? Now let's add a little bit of darkness. You always have to have darkness so you can see the lights better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a really dark red. Red plus a drop of black. Now black's the strongest color. Like I mentioned earlier, one little drop's gonna just really change this. So I want you to take 1/2 grain of rice if possible. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some of that off, even less, right? A little bit. Because if you take black and you mix it with red and you have too much, you know what you get? You get fudge brown. We don't want fudge brown. We want a really dark red, almost black. Now I'm going to swipe in a little bit of this darkness and swipe it down just a little. Right there. I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to have some darkness over here and then some darkness right through here. I think we can go even darker, honestly. Darkness on the bottom. Little swipes is all you're doing. Okay, let's go darker. Let's go even darker, almost black now. I'm gonna take more black. That's a lot. Almost black. We're gonna make this super dark, okay? I'm going to continue to swipe this in. We're going to have some dark in here. Just a little right there. I'm going to have to use my little brush soon. I'm going to rotate my brush to get a nice fine edge to my paintbrush. Okay, so I'm going to clean off all this leftover paint. Get that nice sharp point. I'm going to paint with this sharp point. I'm going to put paint just on the tip of my brush. And I'm going to sort of outline my glass a little right there. Right through here. Let's do a little at the top. Just like that. Go ahead and clean off your brush. Now let's work on the rest of the glass. Okay, so we're going to swipe in some grays, maybe a little bit of blue, some whites in there. We're going to make it look like it's reflecting. There's some stuff going on. Okay, so let's actually put a layer of a light blue gray color down. So I like this color I made earlier. If you have a nice light blue color, use that. And then I'm going to add a teeny tiny drop of black to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and streak this in just so I can find that shape. There we go. Now I still have that color on my brush. I'm going to go ahead and streak this in towards the top just a little. I'm going to focus maybe right around the rim here. Streak it down. And then I'm going to streak it on the right hand side just a little. And the left. Very gentle, not a lot of pressure now, okay? Go ahead and clean off your brush. Let's switch to the little brush now. Get it wet. Let's find our darks. Let's find our darkness. So let's get black and blue and mix that together. And then remember that twirly trick I showed you earlier? Go ahead and twirl your brush. And we're going to use this little brush, a little bit of pressure, okay? And we're going to streak this in to find our shape. So right at the bottom here, we're going to have a little bit of darkness. So right where the wine sort of ends at the bottom, right there, and then move down just a little bit more and put a little darkness under that. Little line. And I'm going to outline the left side of my glass a little bit more. Not a lot of pressure, being gentle. And I'm going to go down the stem. Doesn't have to be a perfect line, okay? We're finding the shape of our glass. And then we need to add some shapes down here, right? Because glasses don't usually do that. There's usually like a little bump here towards the bottom, maybe another one right here. So I'm just streaking in a few lines here. Finding the shape. Now I'm going to darken up the sides and the bottom here just a little. Because whenever you have something setting on a table, there's darkness under it. It gives it visual weight, so we want it a little heavier. So go ahead and streak in a little bit of darkness, more pressure down at the bottom, and let's more pressure right on the right side too. We're going to add a shadow here. Okay, keep it loose, keep it loose. Streak that in. I'm going to find the right side of my glass. You can rotate your canvas if you need to. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, okay? I'm just going to go ahead, not a lot of pressure, draw my line up, just like that. Clean off your brush and go into that light blue. Make a bright light blue. Now take blue and a scoop of white. Let's make a new bright blue color. Twirl your brush. Give it a nice twirl. Okay, now let's start streaking in a little bit of lightness. So there's going to be some lightness right through here. And right under here, it's going to be a little bit brighter than what we had. All the way down the handle. Let's do the sides. A little lightness on the sides here. Right through here. Let's go on the side. Let's find our shape a little bit more. Curve around. Because you know, light bounces, right? It bounces around here. Streaking a little bit of lightness there. Light wraps, bounces, it curves, okay? Oh, you know what? While we have that color, let's go ahead and incorporate it into the top of the glass too. Let's go ahead and on the left side of your rim, add a little bit of lightness. It wraps around right there. Maybe it streaks down the glass a little, like this. Drop it down the glass, just a little. So all we're doing is we're switching between light and dark, light and dark, light and dark, and working our way around the glass. Let's go back into the dark blue. I'm going to add another little dark area, maybe right through here. There, now it's kind of looking more like it's been formed, right? It was too perfect before. We don't want it perfect. You never want it to be perfect. It doesn't look right. Let's go ahead and add some more lightness in here now. Let's take the big brush. Take the big brush and get some more white on it and go into that light blue, but make it even brighter. Okay, now we're just going to take this and swipe it around. So I want a little bit of lightness here. Okay, on the stem. And then I want a little bit more lightness down here, right through here, maybe right here. Okay, not too much pressure. And then I'm going to streak in a little bit of lightness up here. I'm going to start right at the rim. Drop it straight down. Let's go into pure white now. Let's add a little bit of pure white. Let's streak in pure white right here. All we're doing is swiping in our colors. That's it. Let's go ahead and swipe it over the wine, just like that. Push that wine back a little. Little on the rim. Put some white here. Just like that. See how it's starting to look like a wine glass? Okay, we weren't coloring it in like a coloring book. We're swiping it in with our colors. Let's keep using white, but let's use our little brush. Little brush, fine tip. A little bit of paint on that fine tip, and let's swipe this in just a little. Maybe right on the rim here. Right up here. Swipe it in where the wine sort of touches the sides on the inside. So very gentle, not a lot of pressure. Let it break. Like that. Very gentle. I'm going to do it again over here. Maybe a little lightness right there. Maybe a little lightness right in here. And maybe a little bit down in here. Let's do on the sides of the lower part of the foot. Right through here, the light's bending, it's wrapping around, so I'm going to outline it with a little bit of light. Where else do we need it? Maybe let's have a little dot right up here. Like that. I don't like this line, it's too harsh. Let's break it up. Let's add a little bloop, little drop there. Little drop there. Blocks of color. Think blocks and swipes of color, okay? I think it's looking pretty good, but we're not quite done. I want to add a little bit of dark blue down here, like, ooh, this color. This color, remember this color? If you have this darker blue, it was blue with a tiny drop of black and a tiny drop of yellow. Let's swipe some of this in, okay? Because there's not a whole lot going on down here, so let's swipe in a little bit of darkness. So make a darker blue color and start swiping that in. Just a little here and there. Just darken this up. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We need to add a little bit more darkness down here. Ooh, let's incorporate some of that minty green too. See how we're switching back and forth, not just between lights and darks, but we're also switching around our colors that we used up here in the painting, and we're incorporating them in the glass as well, right? So the whole piece works together harmoniously because all these colors are used throughout the painting. I think I'm going to streak in a little bit of this purple color in the glass too, right? Because the color should be bouncing around in there. Why not? Let's see if we have that purple. Here's the reddish color. Just going to streak it in just a little. Just drag it around just a little. Okay, I want that purple color. There we go. It was wet. Okay. Just streak that up here. There we go. Okay, let's clean up some of these lines. I need to add a little bit more darkness there. I see a little bit of that gray there. I'm going to take my light yellow. Take a moment and just sort of swipe in color to correct some of the areas that you don't like. I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to use, what color was that? Was that sort of the black color? Dark blue color? Just going to swipe that in here. Just like that. Let's add a shadow. So the shadow can be loose. You don't have to think too much about it. We just need some darkness over here. Okay, so I'm just going to take this bigger brush and I'm going to start off with a little bit of, let's do the dark red color. Really dark color. Load up my little 1/2-inch brush and I'm just going to sort of swipe it to the right of the foot and drag it out a little. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's darken it up in the corner just a little bit more. I'm going to go almost black. Just streaking in darkness. Right, so there you go. That wasn't so bad, right? It was just a series of simple swipes of color, of blocks, right? And it's a little loose and it's beautiful that way. And we have colors that are working all throughout the painting, in the table and in the background and the wine glass. So again, if you need to correct anything, go ahead, let it dry, and then go back in and start swiping in colors again. That's how you correct, okay? Don't try to tighten it up too much. Don't try to have too much control. Have fun and keep it loosey-goosey. Thank you everybody so much for watching this today. If you purchased my Oops, I Arted paint kit, thank you for supporting my business. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that I know that you enjoyed this video or that you want to see more paint lessons from me. And until next week, everyone, bye.